The return of Eugene Domingo to the stage isn't just a casting choice. It's a calculated confrontation with a legacy. For 15 years, this franchise has acted as a surgical mirror to the Philippine creative industry, mocking the ego behind the lens and our obsession with aesthetics of poverty.
Eugene Domingo and nothing.
So, ibig sabihin, hindi ko na kailangan magpapayat pa for the role of Nina?
So you mean you're accepting the role?
Hindi lahat ng artista na-offer ng ganitong role. Ano ka ba? Itong septic tank scene.
So sana namin na realistic.
Nusong ako sa realistic na septic tank.
Nasaktan. Walang hindi nasaktan na nagmahal. Minsan iniisip ko, nasaktan ba ako dahil nagmahal ako o hindi ako nagmahal dahil nasaktan ako? O baka naman talagang hindi mo ako minahal kaya ako nasaktan. Hindi ko naman sagot na ito na ako. Ako din, Cesar!
Si Eugene Domingo ay isa ng director.
May title na nga ako.
The Real Untold Story of Josephine Bracken.
Oh? Direct, because I will...
Ano naman?
Kaya na ni Joanne ang yan. Di ba Joanne ang film?
May! Ko ba rin yan?
Lahat.
But every time this story returns, it migrates to a new medium, moving from the indie screens of Cinemalaya to the commercial theaters of the MMFF, and then to the digital world of streaming. Now, the tension lands on the unforgiving floor of the theater, where there's no cut, no second take, and no digital safety net to catch a human error.
So we are here right now, PETA, for Ang Babae who's fourth live sa PETA. So this is a press presentation at the same time. It's gonna be for the show buyers, KOLs, and media. Each installment of this franchise has a specific method. It enters an ecosystem and turns that medium's own pretensions against it. In 2011, it targeted the hunt for international awards. In 2016, it parodied the formula of mainstream romances. In 2019, it tackled the revisionism of historical biopics. Now, the target is the theater itself. By staging a play about the absurdity of staging a play, the creators are making fun of themselves professionally, inviting us to watch as they dissect the very machinery they operate within. What is the true value of a comeback when the character you play is a heightened, often ridiculous version of yourself? They stay relevant in a world of fleeting digital trends. An artist often trades their composure for the sake of the punchline. As we step inside the PETA Theater Center, we aren't just looking for entertainment. We are looking for the point where the professional ends and the caricature begins. This is where we measure the weight of a persona.
And in moments like this, storytelling is never neutral. The stories we tell can distract, they can distort, but they can also clarify, connect, and hold us accountable. Just a teaser. Not just to enjoy the humor, the chaos, but to reflect on how we create, how we consume, how we critique, and how we hold each other in the process.
Po, pasenso talaga. Ay, kilala niyo naman si Joshua Limso, right? The writer. Siya yung papalit kay Roddy. Para mas bata din ako. May demand. Give it to them. Give it to market one. Ano ka ba? Remember, sustainability mo. I know, right? Rock of Ages to. Ready na to, ha? Ang pagbabalik ng the one that started it all.
Yes! Grabe teatro ngayon, no? Kaliwat kanan. Walang kapaguran.
And majority ng mga shows ngayon po,
Ang ticket sa puri ko para lang makabenta. Ang gusto ng tao ngayon, kantahan, sayawan, escape, entertainment, Hollywood.
are we still talking about it?
Nawala.
Come on.
Teka, napansin niyo ba? Na mas marami nang nanonood ng teatro ngayon kaysa sine.
Except kung MMFF.
Well, yeah, except kung MMFF. Yes, di ba yung mga nanonood ng mga plays ngayon?
At the media conference, the diva persona often cracked to reveal a veteran professional returning to her first love. This homecoming marks a career coming full circle for Eugene Domingo, arriving during what many call a new golden age for the local stage. But the human face of this story isn't just a single star. It's the collective stamina of an ensemble preparing for a 2.5 hour show with absolutely no alternates and no standbys. If one lead falls, the entire production stops. Actors joining her, including JC Santos, Marlon Rivera, and Melvin Lee, are essentially training like athletes for this run. They aren't just memorizing lines. They are managing their bodies like limited resources for 50 shows that offer no room for error or exhaustion. This is the emotional labor of the performer, choosing the intimacy of a live audience over the distance of a screen. It is a professional risk that demands total presence, proving that even in a landscape dominated by digital noise, physical presence remains an unmatched currency. The reality of the local arts scene is built on this kind of vulnerability. PETA has been doing this since 1967, long before social relevance was a marketing trend, training community organizers and staging shows in jails. These performers are proving that art is a form of human stamina. The most important thing on the stage isn't the script or the lighting. It's the fact that the person in front of you is risking their voice and their body to tell you a truth that can't be edited out later.
Nagtanga-tangahan. Hindi ko alam kung kayo ay pagod o takot o yung pinakamasama sa lahat. Manhid. Wala na ba tayong pakiramdam? Wala na ba tayong boses? Wala na ba tayong tapang? Ang teatro ba ay ginawa lamang para sa ginikan, aliwan, piktura? Ang teatro ay kapangyarihan. Yes, may power tayong lahat. May power ka. JC, may power ka. Joshua, may power ka. Direk, may power ka. Miss, may power ka. Dahil may is not the theater I know. This is not the theater I love. This is not my theater. My theater is brave. My theater is fearless. My theater has teeth. My theater fights. Yes.
If we look at the logistics of this production, the contradictions of the industry become immediately apparent. Theater in the Philippines operates in a vacuum of national support. While other countries treat the arts as a public utility, subsidized and accessible, here, the stage is a private struggle. In this landscape, a corporate sponsor isn't just a logo on a poster. It is a vital lifeline. Without private partners, the curtains simply wouldn't rise, creating a reality where the very institutions that represent stability are the ones paying for the play that mocks the industry's own dysfunction. A mid-range ticket can run anywhere from 1,800 to 3,500 pesos. For many Filipino households, that's a full day's wage or more. This creates a friction we have to name. The theater often speaks about the people, but the people are often priced out of the conversation. It is a factual map of survival. When the government leaves the arts to fend for themselves, art has to find a home wherever it can, even if that home is a boardroom. The real question isn't whether a corporate partnership is a compromise, but why it has to be the only choice. We are watching high-stakes gamble on whether satire can remain sharp when it is contained within the very institutions it aims to critique. The hidden cost of this comeback isn't found on the receipt, but in the reality that in this country, independent art still needs a patron to breathe. It is a calculation of survival. How do you challenge the conventions of the stage when the system offers so little support?
Channel their urban urban rage into something worthwhile. Right, and there's nothing more worthwhile than the theater. Don't we all agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Public service. Gusto mo ba ng dula ang UP School of O PETA, aping-api sa buhay. Big-eyed, full of wonder, rep acting. And go! Alam nila yan.
The satire on stage is a mirror for the trade-offs we all make in our own lives. We all have a septic tank in our professions. The messy, unspoken truths we hide behind a polished persona to get the job done. Whether you are navigating the pressure of a corporate office or trying to stay relevant in a shifting economy, the ego and ambition on the stage are universal. We are all, in some way, performing for an audience, trying to balance our public image with our private exhaustion. This connection isn't just happening in a theater. It is the way we assess the cost of being ourselves every single day. We come back to these stories because they remind us that the struggle for survival and relevance is a shared human experience. However, we must ask, who is the joke actually for? Is it for the people on stage or the audience that already knows the punchline? Self-awareness is a powerful tool, but it only works if it doesn't let the observer off the hook.
Dula-dulaan, walang tapang, walang galang. It's so shitty, man! So let me share with you my grand golden vision. Gamit talento ko will save the nation. From the U to the G to the E, I'll make it better. Cause baby, I am Philippine Cheter! Huge, huge, huge. Right, right, ready!
Kami ang magbabago sa industriya. Umengeng sa kamada. Together we are Philippine Cheter.
One, this is Philippine Cheter! Ladies and gentlemen, the cast of Ang Babae sa Septic Tank.
Ayan, we just finished the press conference of Ang Babae sa Septic Tank 4 with Eugene Domingo and JC Santos, Marlon Rivera, and other cast. Everyone is excited actually. We really had a very good conversation regarding the future of theater and how the pandemic has been considered as the golden age of theater. Sobrang buhay yung discussion a while ago. As I stand here in the lobby, the connection becomes clear. We aren't just here to laugh at a character. We are here to acknowledge the labor behind the laughter. We are assessing the value of our own choices and the mask we wear to survive the day. In the end, the most important professional skill isn't just performing. It's knowing when the mask needs to come off so we can finally breathe. Some legacies are impossible to replicate because the value is tied directly to the individual.
Halika dito, ugain kita.
This 50th show run is proof that some stories simply cannot exist without the specific person who started them. In a meditation on being irreplaceable, in a world that often tries to treat everyone like a commodity, you can copy the script, you can build the set, and you can buy the sponsorship, but you cannot manufacture the soul of the performance. The final question is one of endurance. Is the applause worth the exhaustion? Eugene Domingo mentioned that she wouldn't mind if this were her last play because the energy of this specific moment is enough. It is a poetic realization that some choices aren't made for the future or for the sake of a career, but for the sheer reality of the present moment. We must decide if we are willing to be part of the joke or if we are just spectators watching from the shore.
When we talk about Philippine theater, we're not joking. we are serious. So we're going to show you how to be a theater person. So everybody's required to be a triple threat. We're gonna sing, we're gonna dance, we're gonna act, we're fighting, we're making you laugh, we're making you cry, and most of all, you get out of the theater a little smarter, and a little prouder, and a little more nationalistic.